Hello out there, and before we get started with this unboxing today, I do want to remind everybody, if you are watching this the first or second day that this video is up, that the raffle, the Good Cause raffle for this Benchmade Fact, all proceeds going to the Salvation Army. It ends tomorrow night at midnight, so that's Thursday, Thursday the 30th at midnight. So yeah, shoot me a message either here or on Instagram if you want to get involved. What I will say is we are over $300 right now for the raffle, which is awesome. If by chance we hit 500, I will draw a second time and give a second prize, this Spyderco lightweight pair of 3 to a second winner. All right, so if we can make that happen, that would be awesome. We'd love to hit 500. But today we're unboxing a different Spyderco, a different brand new Spyderco, and yeah, let's just get into it. These are actually really easy to. These boxes are really easy to cut open, but a lot of times you don't even need to. Yeah, you don't even need to cut it. You can just rip. I like to tape mine up a lot whenever I ship them out, but all right. So here's a Spyderco that a lot of people are probably really anxious for, and for me, I'm sort of not. Because I don't have a Delica and I don't have an Endura, and I'm probably the only person who's going to do any kind of video on this knife without having the size comparison of the Delica or the Endura. But here we have it. Here is the Endela, and basically what we have is the same platform as the Delica or the Endura, but it is a little bit larger than the Delica and smaller than the Endura, a little bit of a medium size. So let's do some size comparison since I don't have the Delica. Here's a mini griptilian. Here is that pair of 3 again. Pretty good size comparison there. And what I've got to say just right off the bat is that this feels closer to an Endura than it does to a Delica, like without a doubt. So there is a small Inkosi. So yeah, this is not a small knife. Okay, here's a couple other Spydercos if you're a Spyderco guy. So there's the smock. So lining it up, tip to tip, it's actually longer than the smock. So there you have it. And one more comparison with a bit of a, actually, Paramilitary 2, we have to do that. And it is almost the exact overall length as the Paramilitary 2. Okay, so there you have it. That really explains it. And looking at the cutting edge, just a little bit shorter than the Paramilitary 2. So it's going to basically be that size. When I have it in hand, it's still super light, super duper light. It has a little bit of difference between, I think it's the height of the blade, just the overall design. Obviously, like you can see the parallels, especially in the shape of the handle, but I think the proportions are just a little bit different, where maybe it's not as long as the Endura, but it feels like they grew the height of everything more than they extended the length, if that makes sense. So it feels a little bit bigger than it does long. Like the Endura just feels long, but this feels like bigger overall, if that makes sense. So execution of it seems to be pretty much what you would expect. The handle scales feel good. The ramp and the jimping is as good as always. Let's get a close-up look of the blade. Yeah, even the belly, it just seems more like stout than the Delica, you know, and definitely more so than the Endura, just like, yeah, how it just tapers differently. I actually sort of like it. I don't know, if you were going to choose between one or the other for EDC, I mean, if you're one of those people who already has a Delica and you want this, definitely not a bad purchase. But if you're someone who's like sort of waiting, or the Delica is too small for you, but you like the platform, maybe the Enduro was a little bit too long, like this is going to be perfect. So yeah, I'm not blown away by it because it's exactly what I expected, if that makes sense, as far as like how it feels and everything, and what the philosophy behind it is. But it is just another testament to how Spyderco just makes good decisions, good business decisions, where they're rolling out new incarnations of models that make sense, that people are going to want to buy. You know, the lightweight Para 3 thing was a genius thing to do. I keep saying genius in my videos. It just is sensical. It's a sensical thing to do that a lot of companies maybe don't take advantage of. You know, they don't take advantage of the products that they have to make more products, and that's exactly what this knife is. It's a product that they already have, but it creates a new product that maybe will reach a different market and will satisfy people in a different way. So yeah, lockup, solid in all directions. Strong. Yeah. A little bit off center, as all Delicas sort of tend to be. I'm blocking the light a little bit. Actually, hold on. Let me look over. No, looking over the camera. Hold on. Looking over the camera, I mean, it is almost right on. So yeah, that's good. Not quite yet with the Spidey flick. Close. Need some break-in time. There we go. All right. But yeah, what I really do like about the Delica in general is just that blade shape. And even though it is just a little taller and it has that difference here, you still have that slope down and then that little extra plunge at the end that I've always liked. So they stayed true, even though it is distinctly different in a number of ways. And just the rest of the basics, the hardware, the build is all basically the same. But yeah, this one will definitely be standing on its own, I think. And I'm sure there will be plenty of people who get both. But now there's that extra option for someone who doesn't want a smaller knife or just the extra long knife, something in between. And yeah, being as light as it is, let's do that before we go. Sorry, I just sort of did the unboxing on a whim and didn't really have a plan. All right, 3.13. So yeah, that's excellent. So bringing in the Para 3 lightweight. You know, for the difference in size, being less than an ounce heavier than the Para 3 lightweight is awesome. And then if I can find that Paramilitary 2 again, 3.87. So yeah, so being about 3/4 of an ounce lighter than the Paramilitary 2, but being the same size, you can see just the difference there. So very cool, pretty neat knife. Like I said, not blown away because it's basically what I expected, but it is just, again, just a very smart marketing move by Spyderco to put out something like this that they know people will want. So, you know, maybe Spyderco puts out a whole lot more models and sprint runs than everybody else, but they tend to give people what they want in the end, and this is one of those examples. So great job by them. A couple quick questions that I'm going to answer since we're doing all those viewer questions lately. The first one actually sort of applies to this. What do I prefer? Do I prefer a flipper? Do I prefer Spyderco holes? Or do I prefer thumb stud openings? Well, I prefer thumb studs. Really prefer thumb studs for openings. My favorite way to open, though, actually, is I prefer to do the Spidey flick with a thumb stud. So yeah, that's my favorite, but I really do like all methods, and I like that there's enough, you know, variety in the market and in the community that we get a little bit of everything. So I don't have any problem with any of those opening methods at all. It's really more about the rest of the knife and how it's executed. All right, and then second question is it's a Star Wars question. Who's a better villain, Grand Admiral Thrawn or Darth Vader? So if you're only here for the knives, time to check out. Have a good one. But if you want to know the answer to this question, and if you don't know who Thrawn is, this is Thrawn here. Grand Admiral Thrawn was really popular in like the expanded universe, and now he's in canon through like Star Wars Rebels and some of the novels. So very cool. And if you don't know who Darth Vader is, I'm very sorry. But here's Vader. But anyway, it's an interesting question, but I think that when you're watching or reading something where Vader isn't the star character, that Thrawn might be the better villain. Because you get an insight as to who Thrawn is, especially like through Rebels, when he's not the star, but you see how he's scheming and everything. And the point, what I'm getting at, is with Vader in like the movies, you don't get the introspective aspect of the character when he's a villain. You don't really have an understanding of that. In some of the novels and the comic books, you really do get it because he's the star, and so you get his thought process. But really, in the movies, he's just a destroyer, and you don't see like the analysis and you don't see the planning aspect of it, which I think is really cool that you see in Thrawn. And so Vader has all that, but it just isn't on display, and even though it's going on, you don't get to experience that as much. And I think that's what Thrawn has that makes him so interesting, is that you really do get that background of like what he's going through, how he evaluates a situation, and how he's sort of a mastermind. Vader's a genius too, man. I mean, Anakin knows what he's doing, and he schemes, but in the movie sense, you don't really get a feel for that as much, and I don't know what they're going to do long term, if we'll ever see anything like that outside of like a comic book or a novel. But it would be interesting if they did something like that. So anyway, that's that's that question, guys. But any other questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, let me know. I will talk with you soon. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know about the raffle if you want to enter that Benchmade Facts, man. It's a great knife and a great cause. So thanks again, guys. Take care.